Hi, welcome to my channel at Also Victoria Rick. I am a reseller on Etsy, Poshmark, eBay, and Artfire, and I am going to be covering what I sold in the first 2 weeks of December of 2019. So let me go over some of the information and then I will show you what I sold. So I sold 16 items in those 2 weeks. I am a part-time seller and I grossed $662 for those 2 weeks. I netted $399.17. My cost of goods for those 2 weeks was $20 and my fees were a total of $122.59. And I will put that information up here and over here, or it'll cover me something, and then I'll do it again at the end. And so of the cost of goods, why it was only $20 is because I couldn't remember what I had bought them for, and so I'm kind of estimating maybe $3 for the 2 items, and I will show you what those are. And 8 of those items were given to me, and I split the profit on some of them, and some I got the whole profit on. So I sold on 1, 2, 3, 4, all 5 shops. So let me go over what my sales were. I'm going to go from the first day and go on over to the 15th. And so I'll be bouncing back and forth between those 5 shops to let you know. So on my first shop here on Artfire, where I've been selling for 10 years, I sell vintage patterns and some fabric and sewing things, sewing books and stuff. And I sold this vintage 90s Butterick pattern 5179. It was a crop jacket, top, and harem pants, and I sold that for $5. I don't know when I bought it, if it was one of my original ones, came in a box of patterns I bought. It had been listed quite a long time. So anyway, I sold it for $5 and I made a profit of $3.49 on that. And that was the only item I sold on my Poshmark closet. In my closet, that's not Poshmark, in my Artfire shop. And the second item was a vintage 60s, 70s glass, and I also don't know where I picked these up at. I don't remember. For some reason I didn't have them in my inventory. So these are an orange plastic base, and they had a Pyrex label on the bottom of them with the glass mugs that were detachable. And I sold the 2 of them for $12, so I didn't sell them for very much. And I could not find online anything comparable to these. I may have been able to sell them for more, but I didn't. I sold them for $12. And these sold December 12th. December 2nd. These sold December 2nd. Like I said, for $12. I thought I had a list of when I listed. Anyway. The profit on those were $9.48. So I'm thinking I couldn't have paid maybe 79 cents for each one at the most. I just don't remember where I got them. And so over on Poshmark on December 6th, I sold this Kathleen Kirkwood lace tank top. I had showed this tank top in one of my hauls in December because it sold, or in November I showed that haul. I had bought it for $2 at the Goodwill and it sold for $22, and my profit on that was $13.80. And also on Poshmark I sold this Pokemon black cotton blend sweatshirt. I sold that December 7th, and I don't have the date I listed it. My profit on that was $5.65. I had sold it for $10. I think I had dropped the price on it somewhat. over the time I had it listed. So I probably had it listed for a month or two, maybe not very long. But anyway, I did sell for, my profit was $5.65. And on my Etsy Oso Victoria shop, I sold this 1960s Charles Cooper designer dress. It was olive green, a really, really unique jersey knit dress. It was from DJs of Ocean Boulevard. If you don't, Ocean Boulevard, I know runs through Long Beach, California. I don't know if it runs through any of the other little towns down there in Southern California. And I sold it for $89, and I picked it up at an estate sale where I had bought a bunch of items at an estate sale. So it averaged out to, it cost me $1.23. I think I spent $200 at this estate sale. And so of all the bags and bags and bags and bags of clothes I got, it averaged out that. And so my profit on this was $74.28. And it was a very unique dress. It's actually a gorgeous dress. And you really, I believe, needed the right kind of figure in order to wear this dress. It was a small, so the waist was only 25 inches, and it had the belt and everything. And over on eBay, I sold this vintage LL Bean men's pullover sweater. And it's a Nordic wool blend made in the USA. And this sweater my daughter gave to me, and she actually washed it, and it came out really good. It was a size large, and it was very long. And let's see, I sold it for $49. And my profit on that was $31.43. So this was one of the items I didn't have a cost for because I didn't buy it. My daughter gave it to me. In fact, my daughters are giving me a lot of really great things. It's a nice sweater. And I go back over on Poshmark on December 11th. I sold these Olivia Brown dark brown fringe boots. They were size 11 for $35. My profit on that was $28. It didn't cost me anything for these boots because these were given to me by my son-in-law, so we split the cost on those. No, so my profit couldn't have been $28. So my profit was $14 because I got 14 and he got 14. And he's given me, he lives up in Corvallis and he gets a lot of clothes and items. And I was just up there visiting my granddaughter and him, and he said, "Hey, you want some more items? I could go out and find some more for you." And I'm like, "Okay, well, let me get through all of this other stuff I have to list, so, and I'll let you know." So anyway, but the lady opened a case onto Poshmark because she said she thought these were children's boots, so evidently they didn't fit her. My first instinct is to let her know to return them, but she'd have to pay the postage back. But then I didn't. I thought, wait a minute, this is Poshmark where they don't do returns. And so I was kind of like going back and forth about reaching out to her on that. But it was just kind of weird that she thought these size 11 boots were children's when I had the insoles were 10 inches long. And the circumference around the calf was 15 inches. Because I questioned myself, well, were these children boots? And then I looked at the measurements I had put in, and I'm like, no, these would not fit a child size 11, which would be about a 10-year-old. And so anyway, Poshmark did side with me, and so unfortunately, she did have to keep the boots, and I kept the profits, which was $28. So anyway, that's always just something to think about because I do accept returns on all my other things. And there's another item that sold in here that was returned, and I'll get to that one too. Okay, so over on eBay on December 12th, I sold this Harley Davidson women's long sleeve black and gray blouse shirt. It was an extra large with a snap front, and it was totally awesome. I had bought it at the Goodwill for $7.19 in August, and it sold for $30. I'm just surprised it didn't sell sooner, but because it was such an awesome shirt. So I made, my profit was, I have it down for $16.32. Sold for 30, and then with all the fees and the cost of what it cost me to buy it, my profit on that is $16.32. Anyway, I really liked it. But it's not really my style, but I really liked it. This next item was also on Poshmark, and this was a Under Armour gray hooded sweatshirt. A Storm, had Storm printed on somewhere. It was a small, medium, petite, I don't know. And this also came from my son-in-law, and it sold also December 12th. And it sold for $24, so my profit was $9.60, so that's after splitting the $19.20. So my profit was $9.60, his was $9.60. It was free, didn't cost me anything. So cool. It was a nice sweatshirt too. And these shoes also show these Pimpelio by Birkenstock white slip-ons. Size 39, European size, I don't know. It sold on December 12th also. I think I had a lot of sales on December 12th. And these were also given to me by my son-in-law. And so they sold for $35. They had one tiny little flaw, I don't know if you could even see in the picture, in the a little slip. But that, I noted that, so they knew that was there. They were nice shoes. Anyway, my profit on these was $14. His profit was $14. They sold, like I said, for $35 on Poshmark. Back over to Etsy. This is an awesome shirt. This is a vintage 1970s bowling shirt, King Louis polo shirt, in a size large, and it had embroidery on it. On the back it had Eel River Sawmill, and I looked up Eel River, and I think it was in Northern California, and it might still be operating. I can't remember. I did look it up, and it had the name Jean embroidered on the front pocket, on the front, yeah, by the pocket. And I sold it for $42. And my profit on that was $33.66. And once again, I didn't have it in my inventory where I picked it up. So it could have been in a lot of an estate sale item. I don't recall picking this up at a thrift store. I haven't gone to the bins. I went to the bins in September once, but I know this was from way before then. I don't normally go to the bins. I don't feel like driving to the big town to do that because I have so much stuff to list anyway. Let me get through some of my stuff I have, which will take years actually to get through it all. So anyway, my profits, like I said, was $33.66. Sold November 12th. Sold for $42. Okay, over on eBay, I may have undersold this one. It was gorgeous. This was a vintage woman satin reversible Chinese brocade jacket coat. It was green, this darker Kelly green on one side and black on the other side. I picked it up at the Goodwill store for $7, and I sold it for $89. So my profit on that was $68.62. I could have maybe sold it for more because it was an awesome jacket with the little frog buttons, but anyway, I always like to see clothing go to a good home. But I also like to earn the money. Anyway, okay, back over on Etsy for that other pair of shoes that was returned. So I've tried to calculate all that into the final fees and everything, but I'm probably not accurate totally on what the total net is when you're including, because sometimes the taxes they put in kind of throws me off because PayPal throws it in, and I don't know if they take out fees because of the taxes that the buyer pays. I don't know. So So it's all the best guess estimate on my totals there. Anyway, these pair of 1940s velvet platforms I picked up at that estate sale when I bought the 81 pairs of shoes. So everything that I picked up at that estate sale, I spent $300, and everything at that estate sale averaged out to $1.52. So I sold them for $68. She contacted me and asked me if she could get a lower price, because I think I had them priced at $72. And she wanted to know if I could take a lower price. I don't even know if she offered me 60 or something. And so I and shipping was included in this, so she didn't even have to pay shipping. So I came down, I said, well, I'll take $68 for them. And so she bought them at $68. And then I get a email from her after she received them, and she said one of them is broken. The left one is broken. It makes her walk off balance, and she wanted to return them. Well, she put it in the email, not as described. And that's a total Poshmark eBay thing. That's kind of new to me to hear a response like that from Etsy. But anyway, not as described. And like I said, I will accept returns, but when it's something like that wasn't described, I will pay for the return. I feel it's only fair, but usually if it's a fit reason, like if the shoes just didn't fit her, she would have had to pay the return, which would have been $10.86. But she put in that it wasn't as described, that it was broken, the left felt broken, the right was fine. So I sent her return address, label, and she returned them. But the day she bought them, another lady previously had sent me an email and was interested in those shoes. She wanted to wait till she got paid. And so she had emailed me that she had just come home, got paid, and was ready to buy those shoes, and saw that they had already sold. And I told her, I'm really sorry, I have a lot of other shoes, but if I come across a pair like that, because she particularly wanted the platform shoes like that, I will let her know. So I kind of have a running list of customers that are looking for specific items. And if I find them, then I could contact them and say, hey, well, I found this, and if you're interested. So anyway, so the lady returned the shoes. I tried them on. I went over them. What the little inserted pad was in the insole was added on. I had everything like that noted on them. And I tried them on. I couldn't tell any difference. I had my two daughters living here, try them on. They said, without telling them what the reason was, and they said, no, they walk fine. They have no problem with it. I took them up to Portland with me and had my daughters up there try them on without letting them know why I was having them and they said, no, because they had smaller feet too. I said, no, there's no problems. They fit, they walk fine. They're just very high heels, so that could be a problem. But they did not feel any different in between the two shoes. They were tight around their ball or their feet. And I had let the lady know that was still interested in them. I said I had all my daughters try them on. I tried them on. We couldn't find any issue with them. They're for very narrow feet. So I just wanted her to make sure that the shoes were fine, but hopefully her feet were narrow enough that they wouldn't cause her a problem. And in fact, my daughter these were like a size 8, which is unusual for the 1940s. But my daughter, who is a size 7, they fit her the best, but even then they were kind of tight on her little toes. So I was in communication with the lady that did want the shoes, the other lady that wanted the shoes that missed out on the first sale. And I explained that I'll try them on. I can't find anything other than they're just very, very tight at the toes. And she said that she definitely wanted them. And so I got them relisted when I got back from Portland, and so they sold again. So hopefully, well, she should have them by now, and there's no issues with them for her feet. If they are, she could pay the return shipping, and I will take them back. I have no problem with that. So it was very confusing for this other lady, the first lady that bought them. It's like, Okay, but that's doing business. Okay, moving on back to Poshmark. On December 14th, I sold this a Lush blouse, black floral long sleeve with a high-low out of rayon, and I sold it for $21. And this was a blouse that my son gave to me when he left all those bins of clothing in my living room. Well, this was in one of the bins. And so it didn't cost me anything for this. And let's see, I did an offer to liker, so I don't know what I originally had it at. So the offer to liker with maybe a 20% off or 10% off. If I had just listed the item, I'll do a 10% off offer, and sometimes a 20, I don't know, 10 to 20. So anyway, I made $15 on this. And back over on Etsy on December 14th. This was another item that was given to me by my son that was in that bin of clothing. And I had listed this on December 10th. It sold December 14th, and it sold for $20. And I made a profit of $17.52. And let me tell you what it is. It's a vintage 1990s. The label is Just Cruisin'. It's a black rayon maxi full skirt, tiered skirt with a drawstring waist with embroidery. Just a little hippie boho skirt in black. So yeah, $20 on that, $17.52 profit. And also on Etsy, on December 17th, this was from my brother, I think a couple of years ago. He had left some stuff when he moved out of our moms, I guess his mom too. Anyway, so I had listed this on Etsy in June 27th of 18. I think that's when I listed it. Yeah. Anyway, so it sold for $18. Once again, let me tell you what it is. It's a vintage feldspar scarf ring gemstone. So it's a semi-precious stone that goes on a scarf. You can see in the pictures here how you could put it on a scarf. Anyway, sold it for $18. My profit on that was $14.11. And I think that's it. So that's all the items I sold for the first 2 weeks of December, and I'll once again put up what the breakdown. So 4 items on Etsy for a total of $139.57 on my Oso Victoria Etsy shop. 1 item on my Cameron D Etsy shop where I sell collectibles and hard goods, home decor. So $9.48 profit on that. And 1 item on my Artfire shop, a profit of $3.09. 6 items on my Poshmark closet for a total of $86.05. And 3 items on eBay at Victoria, Oso Victoria, for a total of $116.36, and that's not counting the 1 return. Well, maybe it is the 1 return on Etsy, or maybe not. Nope, I don't think I have that calculated in there. Okay, so I have also, was there dogs I was going to show in this video? If there is, I'll link them on at the end. Sorry if I forgot about that. But yeah, because I had gone up to Portland to house sit and dog sit for my daughter. Okay, and so then the next video will be on the last 2 weeks of December and what I sold. And then I have all these clothes back here that's kind of a haul. In fact, these I just got yesterday. This I've had for a while. Trying to date it. You can't see what it is. It's a Angora sweater. So I think that's it. Okay. Well, I did want to say that on my channel I have other things besides reselling. So I'm going to be putting up a little past Halloween video. I'm going to try to clip it together of Halloween parade here in Ashland. So there's some really crazy costumes that could be entertaining. So I just want to throw that out there. So my channel is not all about reselling. It's about travel and adventure too. And just the fun part of living in this town. So, okay, subscribe if you haven't, and if you're interested in subscribing and just seeing what I post, and like it, hit the thumbs up. I really appreciate that. And if you make a comment or two, I really appreciate that, because then I could respond personally to a comment. Love that part. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Bye.
No.